doing this again. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Occasional Bugle podcast. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Jonathan.
Alright.
We were dancing to our
We're
theme
getting
song.
into the theme song.
That's why we're a little.
We're very excited that we have a theme song.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway. Alright. Let's talk about some stuff that happened. So Andy Serkis, our boy.
oh, I forgot about that.
Our baby boy. Best known in these circles probably for Claw, maybe for Planet of the Apes, Gollum, whatnot. He's directing Venom 2.
I'm excited. I think that'll get more people to be interested in Venom because I know Venom just has in my opinion, a very split fan base where it's like you either hate it or you love it. Personally, I love it, but
I think Venom, the first movie, is kind of in the same vein as Spider-Man 3, where it's like, it's not good, but like I really had a good time watching it. So, on that basis, I'm excited for a second one, but like, in the long run, I'd prefer just a better movie in the sequel.
yeah, I hope so. I hope it is better. Like from a movie standpoint, I do hope it's a better movie just because Carnage is gonna be in it.
Yeah.
But
And, I mean, Andy Serkis hasn't directed a lot, so it'll be interesting to see kind of what he does, because he directed, a Jungle Book movie for Netflix.
I heard that was actually pretty good.
I've heard mixed things. I've heard, it's, don't go in expecting it to be like the cartoon.
Yeah, I heard it was a lot darker.
More like the book or whatever.
Yeah, which should be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm interested in
I'll
it.
try to watch it.
Yeah.
So Ava DuVernay she's directing The New Gods. She was doing a Q&A on Twitter, and people were asking her about stuff that's going to be in the movie, and she confirmed that the Furies will be in the movie, which they're Darkseid's elite.
You know what's funny?
Force.
I always hear about the Furies, and I still don't know what they look like, who they are.
From what I understand, this movie's going to be based on Tom King's Mr. Miracle run.
There's gonna be a movie?
Yeah, New Gods.
Like a TV movie or?
Like a movie, for DC.
Oh goodness.
They're trying.
They're trying everything at the same time with no
I'm
structure.
excited for this one though, because that Mr. Miracle comic is really good, and even because his wife Big Barda was one of the Furies, so that's kind of where that comes in. And with the Furies, she mentioned maybe we'll be seeing Darkseid.
That'd be dope.
So I'm glad she's getting a hold of it, and I'm so glad that they didn't do Darkseid in Justice League.
Oh, me too.
That would have been bad, because regardless of who directed it, Justice League would have been bad.
Yes, I agree with that. Because, what was it? I was just watching a video about, Zack Snyder talked about, he's like, he was at a Q&A of a screening for Batman v Superman, and someone said, release the Snyder cut, in the audience. He goes, you mean the Snyder version? So, and then throughout that, he talks, and it made it sound like there was, his version was never filmed. It was just generic stuff that was filmed, and then it was all Joss Whedon.
People aren't going to want to watch I don't want to get into this, but, the Snyder, it's not a finished movie. People need to realize that.
Yeah, it was...
There is no cut. It's not done.
No, it was never, nothing was filmed for Zack Snyder's thing.
It's probably mostly green screen.
Yeah, so...
Anyway.
Yeah. That's a whole other video podcast we could do.
In less frustrating DC news, we got a new trailer for Titans Season 2.
It looks so great.
I haven't seen the first season, but I really want to get on board with this because this trailer was really cool.
I'm currently watching the first season, when I go to work. I like it. It was a little slow, but I also only watch it at work.
What's the tone like?
Dark.
Dark?
Dark. It's not Superman
it's
not being Superman dark.
It's not like Zack Snyder dark.
No. It's the right amount of dark.
Okay.
It's not teen, if you're going in expecting Teen Titans, it's not Teen Titans.
Okay.
Honestly, I would say if anyone that is listening has watched any of Young Justice Season 3, I'd say similar to that. Just more vulgar language. There are a lot of F-bombs
Oh,
dropped.
that's edgy. Yeah, there was a lot. They're going like full force, like comic Teen Titans in this. We have like we see Donna Troy, which is cool. Superboy and Crypto, which always excited to see my boy Crypto. Aqualad.
Aqualad's suit looks so
looks
good.
Really good.
It's just, I find it so funny. He looks more like Aquaman than Jason Momoa.
I'm surprised they didn't go with like more of the like that Young Justice version of Aqualad, which seems to be pretty popular. Which I like that version.
Oh, Calderon great.
Yeah,
I love him.
He's cool. And we get the first look at Ian Glenn as Bruce Wayne,
Yes.
which like I really love that casting because it's like he's a lot older, but he's not like
Crotchety.
yeah, he's like you get the idea that he's like tired.
Yeah.
So I will try to get on board with this because I do really want to see the season end. Last but not least, we get a very obscured look at Deathstroke.
Yes.
He looks great.
He was not orange.
It was. Well, he had a little bit of. Well, he had the orange on the mask.
Yes.
And it had there was like.
Which I'm fine with. It just like he looks more like his son when his
There were
son.
orange accents in the costume.
Yeah.
And it looks like kind of like the New 52 suit, which I really like that suit.
Mhm.
They gave him like the red eye, which is
It's so much more intimidating.
yeah. I almost prefer just like the flat mask on that side, but it makes more sense to have something there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
I
it's
get
like
what you're saying.
it's like one normal eye. Like the eye that's missing is red. So it's like
Okay, I watched the trailer really quickly and like I was not fully paying
it looks
attention.
good, and I'm excited for this whenever it comes out. I don't know. Excuse me. Oh,
Nice.
maybe cut that out. All right. So in Black Panther 2 news, Namor might be the villain in that movie.
That'd be good.
I'm fully on board with Namor. He's like not worse, but he's like Aquaman, but even more of a dick.
Yeah.
And
Namor's so irritating.
And when you get Namor, you can maybe, like, that could maybe be our introduction to the Fantastic Four, because those characters are so closely combined, and Black Panther made his debut in a Fantastic Four comic, so maybe we can get, like, a reversal thing where the Fantastic Four make their debut in a Black Panther movie.
Yeah, as you were saying, I was like, that would be actually pretty cool if they reversed it.
Maybe they were just, like, in Atlantis the whole time, like, doing research down there or whatever.
Interesting.
So
Namor would definitely be an interesting villain for Black Panther. Namor's just an asshole.
he's the worst.
It's like he's on your side, and then he's just like, nah, it's alright. Like, get out of my city.
In the first Ultimate Alliance game, he's such a prick.
I can't, like, anytime Namor's introduced, and, like, not introduced, like, he'd be great in the MCU, and I hope it happens, but it's like, anytime I see Namor, I'm like, well, this is just going to be a difficult situation.
He's just the worst.
It's a great antagonist.
Alright. More DC stuff. So, Kevin Conroy
Oh.
is going to be playing Bruce Wayne in CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths.
I haven't been excited about these shows for years.
I haven't watched these shows since Flash Season 2. I'm going to watch this.
Yeah, it's like I haven't been excited since then, but now, like, after all the announcements, like Brandon Routh who plays the Atom is now gonna also reprise it.
Superman.
It's gonna be great. I heard Tom Welling was gonna be on it, but apparently that was just a rumor.
That's rumored. I heard that too. I didn't write it down, but I just didn't think to.
But then
Which
even
would be great.
Black Lightning, who was like famous for out of those shows for not being a part of the universe at all, no connections, is going to be a part of it.
Yeah, which great. It doesn't matter. Throw them in.
I'm so happy. And there is a theory out there, quick tangent, that they're going to Crisis on Infinite Earths is gonna like take all the Earths and like combine them together. Similar, I guess, to how you would say like the Secret Wars from 2015.
Okay. Yeah.
So that'd be cool to see like Black Lightning finally like joining everybody else.
Yeah, and I mean, you do want to like keep that multiverse stuff open.
Oh,
because
100%.
It's like it's a good cop out for these kind of shows
100%.
to introduce new characters.
Because even too, I would love for like if they really wanted to, they could eventually make everything connected. Because they have so many different shows going on that take place in different universes that it's like, they're just like it's the multiverse. It's the TV's multiverse. I'm like, that's actually really dope when you say it like that.
Yeah, and with Kevin Conroy as Bruce Wayne, a lot of people are saying that maybe we'll get Mark Hamill as the Joker.
I did hear that too, and I heard that was actually like a rumor, like it was a possibility.
I've heard that it's both a theory and a rumor. If that happens, great.
He did come back as the trickster twice, like in two different ways too. So I think he'd be open to it.
The only thing I think is like the filming rights for the Joker are a little complicated, because like there was the whole Gotham deal where like they couldn't give him green hair and they couldn't call him Joker on the show. So I don't know if that's a Fox thing or if that's a like everyone thing.
I feel like that was probably just a Fox thing, but
because you see him in Titans at some point.
I didn't know that. I'm not up to that yet.
There is green hair, and I believe he is referred to as the Joker. So maybe it's just a outside resources thing.
Maybe because it eventually like Gotham was the only DC show not on like a Warner Brothers like own thing.
It was like an outside. It was Fox.
Yeah.
Good choice there.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah. Mark Hamill as Joker. I hope that happens. Kevin Conroy as Bruce Wayne. That's great. He finally gets to do it in live action.
Yeah.
This is something I thought was interesting. I feel like every 10 minutes I see a tweet from like an account that says, "Oh, the Russo brothers said this about Endgame."
Oh, so great! Just seeing all this stuff.
It's like every 10 minutes something new. So this is something I saw was, so apparently, in Endgame when Hulk snaps, apparently they were considering making him the Red Hulk at that point.
I read that like 2 days ago, and I was like, that was a good decision not to do that.
Interesting, but I'm so glad they didn't do it, because I want William Hurt, General Ross, to be Red Hulk.
I would love that. My only concern is like he's older, so if he had to do stunts and stuff, I'm just concerned for his well-being.
I don't think they don't need to put him in like the mocap suit.
True, yeah. If they did Sean Gunn for Rocket, they could probably use.
They can just put his face over. If they have to give him the mustache too. If they don't give him the mustache,
that would be hard. That wouldn't be hard.
And
they're just two different versions of Red Hulk in the comic, and Thunderbolt Ross's doesn't have a mustache, and the other one does. Ironically,
put them together. Give Thunderbolt Ross his mustache.
I'm fine with it. I just think
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, true. It doesn't make sense that he loses the mustache when he hulks out.
And so, my thinking was like, okay, they're definitely going to use him when they do Thunderbolts.
That would actually be really cool.
Because he's on that team at some point. He was on the Red Thunderbolts team with Deadpool and Punisher and them.
True.
So my thinking is like, you have Baron Zemo, who's been a Thunderbolt. You have Ghost, who's been a Thunderbolt. You're maybe introducing Norman Osborn at some point. So
that could be how they say that they get the name Thunderbolts, because it's General Thunderbolt Ross. He can be in charge. Yeah.
And have him be the Red Hulk in that movie.
Speaking of the Thunderbolts, I thought it would be interesting because they didn't kill Abomination. He's still alive.
They could throw him in.
And in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they said where he is. He's frozen in an off-site facility in Alaska. Like, they cryogenically froze him.
Not in the raft?
No. Well, maybe now. This was, like, 2015? 14, 15? Because it was, like, the second season of the show.
I didn't even know that he's been mentioned since The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, no, he's like, he threatened one of his agents. He's like, Coulson threatened one of his agents, and he said, you can go to Alaska and guard Blonsky. Like, and I was just like,
that's cool.
What? So I think that they could, if they were to do Thunderbolts and they weren't going to do Red Hulk, which I think is a missed opportunity, but if they end up not using Red Hulk, I think that is their response to that.
Yeah, but I think it'd be expensive, but you can have both.
Oh, that'd be great.
Or you can have Abomination be like the villain or something, or have Red Hulk be the villain. Doesn't matter.
True.
And you have Taskmaster too. You can throw him in there.
Oh, true.
Who
Ooh.
we'll get to eventually.
Yes. Even better. Abomination can be the villain, and Ross becomes Red Hulk, and he's like, "This was my mistake," and he's like a redemption arc.
Exactly. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Maybe like Ross created him, and Ross has to stop him.
That'd be great.
I like William Hurt in that role. I want to see more of him.
I think
he's good.
I think he's doing a good job as Thaddeus.
I didn't even notice him at Tony Stark's funeral until
he was there.
He was there. I didn't even notice him there until the third time I watched that movie.
I've been meaning to rewatch it again.
He's there.
Where?
He's somewhere to the right, like in front of the Iron Man 3 kid.
Really? Maybe, I mean, okay.
He's either in front of him or behind him, but he's there.
I might have saw him, but at the same time, I'm also the same person that didn't see Nebula, and I saw it twice, and I was like, Nebula wasn't there, and I like swore on it, and then I watched a clip online, and she was there. Because I was like, why wouldn't she be there? They were like stranded on a ship together for 22 days. There's no way she wouldn't be there. That's so weird. And then, yeah.
Drax put on a shirt.
Yes, his nipples chafed for that. And then Bucky couldn't even dress nice. Like, he killed his parents.
Bucky doesn't need to do anything.
I saw a meme about that where it has I think it was Falcon standing next to him, and he goes, "Bucky, you killed his parents. The least you could do is like wear a suit." And then I was like, this is a meme and this is supposed to be funny, but that's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
Like, that was kind of just terrible of Bucky to do.
Maybe we'll get into those two. Got a lot to say.
Oh yeah.
And the last thing I have here is the Russo brothers want to direct a Wolverine movie.
I saw that. I saw it this morning, actually.
I really like the Russo brothers. I think they're some of the best directors in the MCU. But I don't need another Wolverine movie anytime soon.
True.
Like, you don't even have to introduce him in the first X-Men movie you make.
Yeah, we all know Wolverine's story.
Just, like, introduce him somewhere down the line. Like, he doesn't need to be a member of the core team.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. Even so, like, it might not even do as well, because everyone knows Hugh, like, even if you don't know, like, Hugh Jackman's the Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't know who the X-Men are, or any Marvel superheroes, you know that he's the Wolverine.
He's played a role longer than anyone.
Yeah. So it's just, like, people might not go see it because they're like, I only like Wolverine. Like, I have friends, my girlfriend's like that. She's like, I won't see any other Spider-Man besides Tobey Maguire. And it's the most... the other ones are just good. That's it. And I'm trying to convince her.
Alright. So, I just got a tweet. New G.I. Joe film details promise a fresh direction for the franchise.
Oh, is it the crossover with the Transformers finally?
So. That'd be cool.
I actually do kind of want that.
I really want that. Do something.
I feel like they'd have to revive Megatron again.
I feel like...
Because that would be the only way that I would want them to do that. Take down more Decepticons.
The G.I. Joe movies are fun.
Oh, I just thought of a miss. Did you see the fifth one?
The fifth one?
Transformers movie, The Last Night? So they had... Do you mind if I spoil it?
No.
Okay, so there's a black
Spoilers
ops.
for Transformers.
Yeah. Even though it was like 3 years ago. What was it? So they brought Josh Duhamel's character back, right? And I was so excited because I loved his character. And he was a Black Ops group that was tasked with hunting down Transformers. That would have been great for the G.I. Joes. I just thought of that. That was so stupid. That was such a missed opportunity. Anyway, off to the next. We have some Comic-Con news.
So we're getting into Comic-Con now? I don't have any. You have any
then
news you want to talk about?
No, all my stuff is Comic-Con related.
Alright. Do
So,
you have anything before we get into Marvel?
Yes, I have comics. I have DC Universe, some sci-fi stuff for anyone that's interested. Star Trek. And then Marvel. So, first of all, DC was like not there. It was like the tiny thing. They didn't really make any announcements.
Why? You have a movie coming out soon.
What movie did they? Oh, Joker.
And Birds of Prey.
I forget about that movie.
I'm so excited for that movie.
I'm not. I don't even think I'm gonna go see it, to be honest. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just not excited for it.
Did the Black Mask leak scare you off?
Oh, I forgot Ewan McGregor's gonna be in it. Okay, yeah, I'm going to see it. I always forget he's in it.
His dick pics are in a diamond or whatever.
I remember you sending me that, and I was like, that is the dumbest, but also probably one of the best
Apparently he's
motivations ever. That's what I heard. I heard he's gonna be one of like the best villains of all time.
So
I don't want these expectations because I don't want to be let down.
I mean, regardless of the movie, I don't doubt that he's great.
Yeah, I don't doubt it either. He's a great actor, very talented.
I'm just excited to see something new from DC that isn't Justice League related.
Yes.
Like something off the beaten path. So.
Yeah, I haven't had enough. I just have had enough of bad. Just bad. It's like they just don't learn.
And there's a lot of early Oscar buzz for Joker.
Yes, I heard something too. It was like
Joaquin Phoenix is like a shoo-in for Best Actor.
That'll be
at least
amazing.
a nomination anyway.
What was it? Heath Ledger won for Best Supporting, right?
Yes.
Okay.
2008.
I was gonna say he wasn't the lead in that movie.
No.
So. But I was like, I knew he won, but I knew he didn't win Best.
So.
But I hope so.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
True.
Very
I
excited
mean,
for that movie.
yeah. I mean, I'm fine. There doesn't have to be a Best. If they're both just as good, I'm fine with them being on the same.
You don't have to compare.
Podium.
Like, just be different. Like.
I agree. Yeah.
Just because Joaquin Phoenix is a good Joker doesn't mean
that he's better.
All copies of The Dark Knight are destroyed. You can like both.
True. Same way you can like DC and Marvel, not compare them.
Anyway, let's
so
get into your Comic-Con hoo-ha.
I have some comic book news. So for a long time, there've been like three different main like Ghost Riders. So there's been Johnny Blaze, Danny Ketch, and Robbie Reyes.
Yes.
Robbie Reyes has been the most current one.
He's the one in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
And he's getting a Hulu show.
Yes.
Cool.
And what is it? He's now that Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider is now an Avenger.
Ooh.
In the main comics. So that's the new Avengers lineup is very interesting. It's like She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, Captain America, Thor, Black Panther, Iron Man, Blade is now an Avenger too.
Well,
but
we'll get to him.
Yeah. But
is it Steve Rogers?
Yes.
Okay. So Falcon's not Captain America anymore?
Falcon is back to being Falcon.
Okay.
And he has a new look. It's actually very interesting.
Weird timing.
Yeah, right? Well, I mean, he's been Falcon, I think, ever since Secret Empire ended. Because
Which was, 2015?
No, that was Secret Wars I would say 2016.
Okay. In that ballpark.
Yeah, 2016, 2017, he's been back, Steve Rogers. Or no, okay, I'm sorry. Hydra Cap was like 2015, 2016, and then after Secret Empire, Good Cap came back.
Right.
But, so Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch haven't really been around, but they're both coming back in their own thing called Ghost Rider.
And there's a Cosmic Ghost Rider too, right? Who's
yes.
the Punisher?
Yes, it's Frank Castle. It's old Frank Castle.
I love that.
I've seen it on YouTube.
I love
and
that
it's
design.
Great. Oh, he looks awesome, and then
cool
he's
guy.
also a psychopath, and it's amazing. But Johnny Blaze right now is also the King of Hell.
Oh, that's good.
So that's interesting. But the book is going to focus on both Danny Ketch and Johnny Blaze.
Okay.
And then the new Marvel event, I just know it's an event, and it's involving everyone in Marvel. It's called Absolute Carnage. Carnage has returned.
Oh, is this where like Venom has to save the universe from Carnage or whatever?
Yeah.
I saw a headline about it and I didn't read it.
Yeah, I'm not reading. I mean, I'll probably watch it on YouTube or something. But
I'm gonna get more into Venom stuff.
Venom is great, but I don't like Carnage's new look. Like he's got this the hypnotizing circle spiral in the middle of his forehead, and I'm just like, you don't look cool anymore. You look weird.
Yeah, I feel like Carnage is one of those designs where it's you could just it's fine. Just add more spikes and tendrils.
Yeah, exactly. There was no need to change it.
It's like Venom, you can kind of play around with that design where it's you have classic Venom, and then you have the space Venom and Mac Gargan, where it's they all have a different look, but they all work, and Agent Venom too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Carnage. It's there's only so much you can do with that.
Yeah,
so.
Especially too if you compare the two, you have Venom being the reason his looks, in my opinion, are different is because it's different people that he's bonding with. Carnage is the same person.
It's always
Cletus Cassidy. I mean, there was one
Norman
time.
Osborn was.
Yeah, it was Green Goblin, and that was. Oh, have you read that?
I haven't. No.
It's amazing. It is honestly one of the best like, say what you will about, like, Dan Slott and Spider-Man, but
Yeah.
it was one of the best Spider-Man stories I've ever read.
Was that Superior?
No,
No?
that was recent. That was, like, Tony Stark, Peter Parker,
Oh.
where he was, like, basically, because Tony Stark was in a coma.
Like Parker Industries?
Yeah, it was, like, the tail end of that.
Okay. And then, like, Chip Zdarsky took over after him, right?
Yes, and I have not read any of
I've heard
that
that's really
yet.
good.
I've heard it is very good,
I've heard
too.
whatever Spider-Man comic is running right now, I've heard is really good.
Yeah, there are, like, 3. It's really irritating. And now, actually, that was a great segue to the next one, which is J.J. Abrams.
Okay.
They, I think, were just...
We talked about this a little bit last time, but is there new, like, details on it?
Yeah, well, not that I knew of, because the podcast I got it from, just was, like, talked about it briefly, like, yeah, we heard about this, so they moved on. It just had, like, a cover, and it was, like, him swinging with Mary Jane.
Oh, wow. What else is new?
Yeah, right? Then they're doing, I think, for the 80th anniversary, I'm not sure, Marvel.
Okay.
And it's Marvel Comics 1000.
Ooh.
And it's going to consist of, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, new origins for Apocalypse, or retconned origins or something, but it's like a weird it's a weird group. It's Apocalypse, Black Panther, The Thing, Loki, and Thanos.
It's my favorite team.
And it's just like...
It's a lot of big guys in Black Panther.
Yeah, right? And then it's just... It just seems interesting. And then they're also going to introduce, like, a brand new villain at the end of the story. So...
That works rarely.
Yeah. And then they announced, like, 8 different X-Men comics.
Yes, they did.
And it is House of X, Powers of X that are going to be rotating. They didn't say how. They're just like, you're going to get one. It's either going to be House of X or Powers of X, but we're not, like, it's either one, but every week.
Xavier's got a cool new bike helmet.
Does he really?
It looks weird. Have you seen
I haven't seen it,
new?
no.
Okay. Let me try to find it for you. It's something.
Oh man, I can only imagine.
Yeah. There he is.
That's
I
Xavier?
believe that's Xavier. So
I've been so curious as to who that is.
I've seen that on Twitter, and I only recently saw someone say that that's Xavier. So
The helmet that he is wearing,
is that like Cerebro?
I think it's probably a mobile Cerebro. That would make sense to me. But it's literally like he has a disco ball on his head with an X on it.
Yes.
If anyone knows, you know who I thought that was? The Maker from the Ultimates universe.
Okay.
And
Oh, that's Reed Richards.
yes,
Yeah.
and I thought that was him. But then I was just like, but that wouldn't make sense that he would have an X on his helmet.
It's our boy.
So now that knowing, like, it's young Charles Xavier walking around, because that threw me off too. I would never guess because he's walking. As bad as that sounds, he's known for being in a wheelchair.
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair all the time. I hope the MCU doesn't do the wheelchair. I want the hover chair from the 90s. The big gold hover chair. And
That'd
then
be so great.
Bring back his turtleneck, too.
Oh my gosh, the turtleneck.
Or his weird, like, cargo shirt.
I just thought of a great fan
He always
cast.
wore gloves indoors.
Oh my gosh.
What a guy.
Stanley Tucci is Professor X. I love him, but I love his comedic
He'd be
timing much better.
good. I mean, he's Dr. Erskine.
Oh, I forgot about
But it
that.
doesn't, like... it
They also
doesn't
do, yeah, I was going to say, I never would have known that was him.
What's it called? Gemma Chan she was in Captain Marvel. She was Minerva, but she's maybe going to be like the lead in the Eternals as a different character, so it doesn't matter. If it's a minor enough character, people won't notice. Like, just swap them out, it doesn't matter.
True. Did you see the thing that with the Minerva Captain Marvel fight? They won an award.
No.
They won an award, I think, over... It was either the Captain America... Yeah, I think it was Captain America versus Thanos in Endgame. I think they won over them. And I was like, there is no way that they should have won that, because that was not as cool of a fight scene as Captain America wielding Mjolnir and the shield.
I haven't seen Captain Marvel yet.
Okay, just from knowing that, do you think that would beat... you saw the Thanos
That's
Cap
a
fight.
hard-to-top fight.
Yeah. The only one that I could see beating that is, like, Doctor Strange versus Thanos in Infinity War. Or Iron Man versus Thanos in Infinity War, or even Thor versus... No. Well, from Endgame, but it wasn't. It was more like Thor would hit him a couple times, and he got knocked away.
And then the Captain America fight starts.
Yeah, and Captain America
like...
was great.
Okay. You got more stuff?
Yes. Okay, so to finish off the comic books, we have the rest of the 8 X-Men, Powers of X, Marauders, Excalibur, X-Force, Fallen Angels, and New Mutants.
That's a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I was one off. It was 7.
They're really making up for all that time they spent like blackballing the X-Men in comics.
Yeah, and then also from all the Inhumans lines they're just trading it with the X-Men.
Oh god, they really tried to make Inhumans X-Men, didn't they?
Yeah, well, I mean, they had to for the MCU if they wanted something, but oh, true.
Like Perlmutter wanted to.
Yeah, true. What was it? What? You know, they did a Death of Inhumans story. I still don't know what happened. I know they died,
Doesn't matter.
but I want to know how.
Who cares?
Right, so for the DC Universe, going back to Titans, September 6th.
Okay.
Doom Patrol Season 2 was announced.
I will maybe get a subscription.
I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to stream it.
I might just...
Illegally. No one heard that, yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna definitely pay a subscription.
Yeah. A lot of the CW shows are going to be moving to, not like the actual shows themselves, like streaming wise, they're going to be on HBO Max.
Okay.
So I think those are, if they're going to be on HBO Max, I can see them all leaving Netflix. Because they're all on Netflix right now.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's just not...
leaving Netflix.
Yeah, true. But not like all of the CW, not like the 100 and stuff like that. It's just...
Yeah, just their
like,
DC properties.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Young Justice Season 4 was
exciting.
renewed. Yes, and that's great. For Star Trek fans,
Mm-hmm.
Discovery was renewed for Season 3.
I want to get into that. I've heard that's good.
I've heard mixed.
I've heard if, like, it's not, like, don't go in expecting the same kind of Star Trek. I've never seen anything Star Trek except for the 2009 reboot, which I really liked. But, I've heard, like, you have to, like, go in with an open mind. So.
Okay. There's going to be... I definitely wrote the wrong title, but it's going to be, like, Star Trek shorts.
Okay.
And it's going to be, like, a mini-series. Some are going to be animated, some are going to be live action.
Almost like a what if.
Yes. And then there's going to be an animated Star Trek show called Lower Decks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know nothing about Star Trek at all.
Neither do I. All I know is that Chris Pine was in the movie, and so was Chris Hemsworth and Zoe Saldana.
Chris Hemsworth was his dad.
Yes.
That's fun. That was before Chris Hemsworth got big.
True. That was literally...
That was pre-Thor.
Yeah, I think that was, like, literally 2 years before, yeah.
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch was also in it. He played a villain.
He was Khan.
Yes.
Just...
It was weird. I did see... I saw just, like, part of that movie, and it was when he came in, and then, like, I think to almost the end, and I was like, I just need to see it from the beginning, because I don't get it.
Alright. You getting into it now?
Oh, we're getting into the MCU, people. Ooh.
It's Marvel time.
Marvel.
Let's talk about this. Marvel did a great slideshow of titles for movies. Was there was, I heard the only footage they really had was Black Widow.
They had footage?
Yeah, it was like, apparently it was part of like that street fight we've been seeing set pictures of with like Taskmaster.
That would make sense.
And there was a piece of concept art floating around of her fighting Taskmaster, which looked really cool.
Okay.
So,
But that wasn't revealed to the public, right? That was just to the people that were in Hall H.
That was just for Hall H.
Because that's what I was like, how did that not... Yeah. How did I not see that?
I haven't gone looking for it. So, it's whatever. And I think they... Did they release the... They didn't release the Falcon and the Winter Soldier footage online?
No.
No, okay. Which we'll get to that. But, so Black Widow. I know Eternals is first. It was announced first, but let's just go in order of release for the sake of...
I like that.
My sanity. So, Black Widow. Florence Pugh is Yelena Belova, who's another Black Widow. I don't really know anything about Black Widow, but I'm getting more excited for this movie the more I hear about it.
I think they had her recently in the Avengers Assemble cartoon.
She's the blonde Black Widow.
Yes, and in that they call her, I think, the Crimson Widow, because Russian, red, haha. But, I don't know, they change a lot in, like, cartoons and stuff to just differentiate, to make it simpler for children. So, but apparently they're going to be, like, a lot of Black Widows in it.
Yeah,
Rachel
Weisz is also a Black Widow.
Interesting. And I heard that they're all going to be called it. I'm like, how do you... What?
Well, it was like an academy thing, right? Like, you go to be trained to be a Black Widow.
True. Well,
you
yeah.
Black Widow school, and you do, like, sad ballet, and then they, like, make it...
You do sad ballet.
You do sad ballet, and then they make it so you can't have babies anymore.
True.
Black Widow school.
You know, come to think of it, there was something... So I read a lot of the... For those that don't know, Marvel released prelude comics for movies. So they released one about Black Widow. And I think it actually had Yelena in it. I think. I haven't read this comic in like a year and a half. It was...
Comic.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was a blonde chick. And she was like, I think also a Black Widow. Or she was like trained by the Red Room too or something. And...
You mean the sad ballet school?
Yes.
Where they cut your uterus up or whatever?
Yes. And then, what was it? She was, like, trying to convince her, like, there's more. Like, you can do so much more than what they want you to, or, like, basically trying to turn her good.
Don't be a Black Widow.
Be a good widow. But, I don't know if it was Yelena. I don't want anyone to quote me on that. I just remember it was a blonde chick.
And this, I mean, introducing a new, younger Black Widow gives them the chance to, boot Scarlett Johansson if she wants to go play a Japanese man or something. Have you not heard about all that controversy?
No.
Because so there was the whole thing where, like, she kept, like, taking roles that were clearly meant for people of, like, other ethnicities. Like Ghost in the Shell, she's supposed to be Japanese.
Interesting.
And, she was supposed to play, like, a transgender man in a movie, but people were like, maybe cast an actual transgender person in the movie, so she was kicked from that, and then she issued this really weird statement where it was like I should be able to play whoever I want to, like if I want to play a tree you can let me, or something like that. She was like, it was like this really weird, like, a doubling down statement. So
Scarlett,
like, you're digging yourself a hole, my friend.
Yeah, it's like, if you want to be a tree, you just go to, like, a kid's play. There's plenty of roles as trees there.
It's like, maybe just do some research before taking roles.
Even, too, like, okay, you didn't get that role. She still has millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, it didn't matter. And, like, take a note from, like, Ed Skrein, however you pronounce his name. Like, he was supposed to play, Agent Daimyo in the Hellboy reboot, until people were like, hey, he's supposed to be Asian.
Oh, is that the guy that, like, turned into a tiger?
Yeah, he's like the tiger werewolf or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So he left. He was like, okay, I didn't know this was supposed to be a not white person. And he was like, alright, I'll leave. Which is, like, pretty gracious of him.
Yeah, she could have handled it with a little more class.
Yeah. It's just like, don't double down, you idiot.
Yeah. Ugh.
So I have a feeling I have a feeling she's going to be done soon anyway. And they'll have Florence Pugh take over.
That'd be interesting.
So.
Because I don't see her, like, even though she's, like, she's producing Black Widow.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I could, like...
Producing.
Yeah.
I did air quotes.
I don't see her getting another movie. Even if they were like, we're going to keep making prequels, it's like, stop.
It's like, you can only go down with this character now.
Yeah, the only thing...
You can't make a new story.
Exactly. And, like, the only thing that I want to see that would have her in it at this point, like, no offense to her, like the character. Oh, I don't dislike the character, but she's not one of my favorites.
I'm a little sick of the character.
Yeah, a little bit, to be honest. But
she's always been a little bit one, like, she was at her best in Endgame, but she's always been a little one note to me.
I agree. But I would love to see Budapest.
I don't even need to see that. It's just like
I don't want to see it as a movie though. Make it like a 4-episode show, and put it on Disney Plus if you want to do something else.
Just like a fun joke between the two of them.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just saying if they were to make
really
something, do that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I don't see her going past this. But if they were, that's the only thing I would want. I wouldn't want anything else because they can't do anything. Oh, I guess they could do in between Infinity War and Endgame.
You can't make a new story with her in the Avengers because she's dead.
True. Well, I mean, unless they did.
You do a prequel, but you're not going to get everyone back for an Avengers prequel.
Yeah, no.
It's
because you need, yeah.
Because you need to buy Robert Downey Jr. a new house or whatever.
Because even too, like you can't. Like you'd be wasting people's contracts on that too.
Just to have Black Widow in
and you
just get the new like character in.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like they're swapping out a bunch of characters anyway, which we'll get to.
Yeah, and you can't even do like, you can't be like, oh, we're gonna give her her own solo story in between Infinity War and Endgame. It's like, but she's supposed to be like running the Avengers.
Yeah.
So how's that supposed to work?
Yeah. I think there are at least 3 properties in this lineup that are about introducing a new version of a character.
Yes, I'd have to agree.
We'll get to. So, moving on. Number 2, The Eternals. I don't know shit about The Eternals, but I'm excited for this movie.
I watched a small video today.
Oh wait, on Black Widow, real quick. David Harbour is playing Red Guardian.
So excited.
Very excited.
So does he use a different voice for Stranger Things? Because I saw a small interview with him, and it did not sound the same.
It just sounds a little bit more gruff.
That's what I think, too.
Yeah, I think it's just acting.
He sounded very more, like, mild-mannered, like Dad.
Yeah. Well, he is an actor.
True. I just, like, when he started speaking, I was like, that doesn't sound like Hopper.
Yeah, yeah. Alright, so Eternals.
Do we want to go over to the cast?
Sure.
Because
I'll start. Richard Madden. Love him.
Selma Hayek.
Yes, she is someone. I don't know. I know Richard Madden is Icarus, and I know the little girl is Sprite.
Yes, and I do not know her name.
I do not know the rest of the cast.
I'm looking it up right now.
They haven't, according to people on Twitter, they have not yet announced the lead role and the main villain in this movie.
I think that's so interesting.
Like, I thought that, like, Richard Madden would be, like, your guy. But
like the lead, yeah.
Apparently, whoever Gemma Chan is maybe playing is the lead.
Yeah, honestly, like, I thought it would be Icarus, because he's always on, like, the covers of everything,
yeah.
But...
and I know from what I understand, they're kind of adapting Neil Gaiman's Eternals from, like, 2005, which I haven't read, but I'm going to before this movie comes out. Which that's a lot of, like the Eternals are sent to Earth.
Yes.
And they've been there, but a lot of them, like, don't even know that they're Eternals.
Yeah.
So, something to do with, like, an Aztec temple.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is so vague. Like, I watched A Brief History, and it was talking about how they all killed themselves eventually. It got dark, and it was like, that was weird.
But they can't die.
I don't even know.
I think they're immortal.
They are, but I think, like, the same way, like, Thor is technically immortal, but he can still die.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think it's something like that.
But I think there's like a part in the Eternals comic where, like, Icarus is, like, kidnapped by the mob, and they just keep, like, trying different ways of, like, torturing him and killing him, and just none of it works.
Interesting. It could just be, like, a certain thing can kill them. Like, what wasn't there something where it was like they could oh yeah, no, never mind. I was thinking of Percy Jackson, where the monsters turn to dust, but they always come back anyway.
I wonder if this is going to come out around the same time as New Gods.
Oh my gosh.
They're very similar.
Yeah, no, that was literally because Jack Kirby, his New Gods line got canceled.
So he made
So he went back to Marvel and then made the Eternals.
That's kind of great.
Yeah.
Love Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, Thanos and Darkseid are very similar.
Yeah, they literally said too. I think when they were making Thanos, they were like, if you're gonna rip off the new gods, just rip off Darkseid. Don't, because I think it was supposed to look like Metron originally, Thanos.
Yeah.
Like rip off the best one.
Yeah.
Darkseid.
And like, it's because there was like that New Gods story not a couple years ago. It was around like, was it Final Crisis? Is that a thing? That's a story, right?
Final Crisis. Yeah.
So it was like right around then that like the New Gods were all sent to Earth without the knowledge that they were New Gods. So they kind of like lived out. So like, Darkseid became like a mob boss called Boss Darkseid. So that's very
okay.
Eternals.
I was gonna say, yeah, once you were talking about it, I was like, yeah, they all. I remember hearing in the history video was that.
It was in the Final Crisis comic story.
I don't even remember that.
It's a good one.
But like, I was watching a history of the Eternals, and it was the same thing. It was literally they, like had the epiphany, like, oh, this is who we are. And then they all have to from across the world like find each other.
And Final Crisis was like 2007, right?
Oh, that might have been after.
And Neil Gaiman's Eternals was like 2005.
Okay, so that was probably after them then.
It's a little dodgy.
So the cast is Angelina Jolie is playing Thena.
Great.
Salma Hayek is playing Ajax.
Okay.
Richard Madden is playing Icarus, as we said. Lauren Ridloff, I don't know who that is playing.
She's deaf.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I think they said something like she's like, and like her character's deaf too.
Wow.
So that's cool.
That's awesome. She's playing Makari. Kumail Nanjiani. Yes. I'm so excited for him.
So excited.
He's playing Kingo.
His names.
Brian Tyree Henry is playing Fastos.
Sure.
Don Lee is playing Gilgamesh, who I think
is a villain.
Yes. And Leah McHugh is playing Sprite.
Good for them.
I think that's because wasn't Millie Bobby Brown
she
rumored? I think that's who she was rumored to play with Sprite.
And she was like, "No, I'm not in this movie."
I mean, I don't know who this Leah McHugh person is, but I would have liked to see Millie Bobby Brown and.
Yeah, but at the same time, like,
she could be Kate Bishop. She's nearing the right age.
She's still a bit young.
I don't think they've cast her yet, so.
She's still a bit young to be hanging out with the Avengers, is what I'm thinking.
What? I'm sorry.
Millie Bobby Brown, she's a little young to be hanging out with the Avengers.
Not the young Avengers, though.
Okay.
That's what Kate Bishop was.
Okay.
She was like a teen.
I'll pay that. So, Eternals, excited. This could be like Guardians all over again. Get an unknown property and make it huge.
That's why I'm excited for this movie.
It'll be good to great.
Yeah, and because even too, like, so many people are like, oh, like, I'm hoping it's like Guardians, and even too, like, no one knew who the Guardians were. Now everyone loves them; they're a household name. I am excited for that for the Eternals because I want that to happen because they all seem like such interesting characters who have never really been done justice in comics. But at the same time, I don't want to get my hopes up and then it sucks.
Yeah. I don't think it'll suck. I think it'll be fine.
I was going to say, I think we're at a point with Marvel where nothing is going to be bad.
It's just going to be, like, mediocre at worst.
Yeah.
Which is still bad. If you get enough mediocre,
but it won't be, like, DC bad,
yeah.
I love that we were on the same page with that. I was like, it's never going to be at that point again.
DC. All right. Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
So excited.
Very excited. So,
main villain Zemo.
Baron Zemo.
And it's only going to be 6 episodes.
Love that. Perfect. 13 episodes on Netflix, way too much.
I think you just need whatever amount. I don't think that there should be a set number.
I think it should
whatever you need to tell the story.
Exactly. That should be what it is, but they need a formula. So, anyway, we saw Zemo in the purple mask.
Oh.
Looks great. We haven't gotten a clear look at it, but
I liked it a lot, yeah.
It's gonna look like.
Even too, he had that little, like, the pilot vest.
He had the fur jacket on. Love that.
I was like, that was cool.
Very excited for that.
He seemed to be like, sorry to interrupt you, but like at the end of Civil War, he was like ready to be like, he's like, I've filled my purpose. I'm gonna kill myself. Yeah. I want to know like what his comeback story is. Like,
clearly he has a vendetta against these two. And a lot of people are thinking this is going to be like a Battle for the Shield kind of show. I don't think it's not going to be that. It's going to be like a buddy story.
Yeah, especially too, like, because Cap even said at Endgame, he's like, Bucky and I already talked about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, and people are still like, they're gonna be fighting over. I'm like, no, they're not.
There isn't gonna be like the center of the show isn't gonna be a conflict between these two.
No,
like,
definitely not.
I wouldn't say they're friends, but they have an understanding.
Yeah, and they might disagree with each other on certain things because they haven't like been like, they don't have the friendship that they had with Steve.
Yeah.
But it's like it's been ambiguous.
Yeah. And there's like the whole idea that like maybe the government doesn't want Falcon to be Captain America.
I mean,
like,
with Trump president, I'm not surprised that the government would not want that, but...
Well, he doesn't have to be president in this universe.
Yeah, thankfully.
But it's like Captain America, like the name Captain America might still be like tarnished by the government because he was technically a war criminal.
True.
And Winter Soldier is still like not in good graces with anyone.
True. Well, even what was it?
All three of them.
I was gonna say Falcon technically was
Falcon
too.
was
so
with Captain America.
And they might even have the whole thing like he's self-declaring this. Like no, he wasn't. It was passed down to him.
Yeah, and like it's not like Steve Rogers is gonna come out of hiding.
No, because they all think he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of like Winter Soldier not being seen as a hero thing, there was someone in Far From Home. They took like a screenshot when they were talking about like the fallen heroes and then just the heroes in general. Bucky was in there, so he might actually be considered a hero now, which would be great for him.
Well, he could use a break.
Yeah, he could.
All right, ready to move on?
Yes, sir.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
I'm excited. I have been waiting. I didn't think they'd ever do this anytime soon with the Mandarin after Iron Man 3.
For the months leading up to this announcement, I'd been hearing that like they're gonna do like the Mandarin proper in Shang-Chi, and I was like, that's
good.
Good.
It's about time.
Yes, finally. And then we just get confirmation. So, I forget the guy's name that's playing Shang-Chi, but he's
something Lee Young. I think.
Tony Leung is playing Mandarin.
Yes. Who are we talking about?
Shang-Chi.
Oh, you said Shang-Chi. I'm sorry. That's Simu something. Simu Liu?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds right.
Have you seen his tweets?
Yeah, isn't that funny?
So for those that don't know, he tweeted in like 2018 or like 2017, and he said, Marvel, when are we going to get together and talk?
He was like, yeah, make me Shang-Chi.
And then he tweeted after Comic-Con, oh shit. And then it was a picture of the Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings logo. And I was like, that's awesome. Like, I already like this guy.
Good for him.
Because I, like, didn't know who he was, and I was, like, kind of not excited. And then he, like, I just see, like, his personality. I was like, oh, great. He's a good guy.
Aquafina is also in this movie.
I have no idea who that is.
She was in Crazy Rich Asians, I think.
Oh, okay. That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah. She's funny. I like her.
Okay.
She has a new movie out, which is apparently really good.
Okay.
Yeah, we finally get to see the Mandarin proper. Do you think we're gonna get like the whole like alien rings thing?
Oh, the Makluan.
Are they gonna be like alien rings, or are they just gonna be technology? Is it gonna be like proper magic?
Could be proper magic, but I don't see how Shang-Chi, like, he's supposed to be like the greatest warrior on the planet,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I don't know how he would combat that, you know? So part of me feels like it could be technology, but, because honestly, like, these things have, like, almost, they have, like, them together is like an infinity stone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like...
I will say, the stars seem to be aligning for us to finally get to see Fin Fang Foom, the dragon.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Which, because, like, those are his rings, aren't they? I think the 10 rings are his, because he's an alien. Because I know Mandarin got them off like an alien dragon, and Fin Fang Foom is an alien dragon.
Okay, so
I think we might be getting...
The only...
I hope he has his pants on.
Jeez, oh my gosh.
I love his shorts.
Yeah, Fin Fang Foom is a dragon that wears pants.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Great.
It's like a Speedo or something, but...
They're like, it's like a bathing suit.
Yeah. But the only experience that I have with the rings are they had a 3D animated cartoon called Iron Man Armor Adventures. Yes. And that had to do with like lizard people from outer space called the Makluan. Okay. And they were all the rings were called the Makluan rings. So I don't know. A lot of cartoons, like, they take stuff from comics, but sometimes they go random directions. And that was the last season, so...
If we get the Mandarin with the 10 rings and Fin Fang Foom and, like, really good, like, fight sequences, this could be, like, a huge deal.
It really
This
could.
Be a great movie.
I'm just, like, very curious on how they're gonna do the Mandarin. Like, cause like my whole thing was like Iron Man. Like the Mandarin was like always an Iron Man villain.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could see him like fighting them, like taking them down. Like he stands a chance. I don't see. Cause the rings just hold so much power. I
And
don't see
who's to
how a
say-
normal guy can.
Who's to say that he won't be in more after this movie?
The Mandarin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
He can be a long-time villain.
I agree. My own thing,
He's been around for a long time, and you're not going to necessarily like wipe the floor with him in one movie.
True.
He's been here since the beginning.
Yeah, he's been so off the grid too.
Yeah.
But
he's maybe the only villain with more build-up than Thanos.
True.
Because he's been here since the first Iron Man and beyond Endgame. So.
True. Very true. But I mean, I'm excited to see how it goes. But like, I'm not excited. Like, I'm interested in it. Like, I'm excited for Eternals. Yeah. I am not.
I'm more excited for Shang-Chi than I am Eternals.
Really?
Just on the prospect that we could get Fin Fang Foom.
Okay. I'm just like.
And also like the whole build up to the Mandarin.
Okay. I mean, I think it'll be good. I'm just like skeptical of how that's gonna work.
I also think like maybe in a sequel, you can bring back what's his name, Iron Fist.
Yeah, that'd be great.
If they have the film rights to him by then.
I think it's 2 years they have to wait. So by then, like that's Shang-Chi's when 2021.
Yes.
So they'd have the rights by then.
Yeah. So there's a lot of talk of like rebooting the Netflix characters.
Which
I don't think they're necessarily going to do that. I think they know that there's a huge following, and I think like it's just unnecessary rebooting them. Like you don't need to do it.
Well, considering probably the last thing we're gonna go over, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, okay.
Which we can get back to that because I do have a theory revolving that.
Ooh,
but
I
don't know.
I don't think they're gonna reboot that.
I don't think they will either. But
because
the more and more talk about it, I don't know.
Like, you just have to wait some time to bring them back.
I agree.
And
just do it in the right way.
Yeah.
And then if you want to fill in the gaps with shows, like do it.
Yeah.
But they're all good actors. They've all portrayed the characters so well. Like I can't see anyone besides John Bernthal being the Punisher, or like, Charlie Cox being Daredevil. If
you want to tweak the characters a little bit, like maybe make Iron Fist less, like, of an airhead.
I agree. Yes, like, I think that they could change certain things about characters, and I wouldn't care. Just make them better.
And do heroes for hire.
Well, that's what the thing was. That I heard that is gonna be like in the works.
Okay.
And that was like more proof to that they might reboot it because if that comes out anytime soon, they can't use the same actors. But like apparently Mike Coulter, the guy that plays Luke Cage, apparently like he wasn't supposed to get his own show.
Really?
I don't know how, I only heard this from one person, it was a friend, it wasn't even like a source, that he was, I think, supposed to just be with Jessica Jones and maybe like go over to Iron Fist and like go back and forth the same way like some other characters did.
I don't think that's...
But I don't know. But I heard that his acting was so good that they gave him his own show. But I was like, they were always, I thought, planning on making him before. Yeah.
Because in 2013, they announced we're going to have 4 shows that are going to build to the Defenders.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, so yeah.
They're never not going to give him his own.
That's why, like, I was like, I don't think that's true, but if you believe that,
he is
I think that might have gotten people excited for it and might have got maybe like greenlit it. I did think it was weird. The only like evidence that I have that would support that claim.
All the shows were announced before any shows came out. Like they announced Daredevil, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage and the Defenders before anything was released. This was 2015.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Announced everything.
Yeah.
So.
Because he even said too, he's like, I said they announced all the shows. And he's like, they announced all the heroes. They didn't announce that they were all getting shows. I was like, I don't know if I agree with you. But the only evidence that I had that supported that was that the pop vinyls. What is it? Luke Cage got one for Jessica Jones, but then they never made any after that. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was weird that he got one for her show, if they were going to give him his own show anyway. But
think it's disappointing we never got like a proper Iron Fist costume.
Yeah, Did you watch it?
I haven't watched any of Iron Fist.
Okay, I'm currently watching season 2.
I've heard season 2's fun.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good so far. To be honest, I'm in the minority that actually liked Iron Fist. I think I had the patience to get through it,
Okay.
whereas a lot of people didn't, because the biggest complaint was that it was slow, and that it copied Arrow.
Okay.
I'm sorry, they have almost the same origin. That is not their fault. That's the comic origin for both of them.
But at the same time, like, you can tweak it to make it more.
True, but like Iron Fist has always stayed the same.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Green Arrow, his has changed. It just stinks that one came out so much farther than, so much earlier.
Yeah, I've always really liked Iron Fist as a character. And it was a shame when I heard that his show wasn't good.
Yeah.
Or that like his character wasn't what he should be.
Yeah.
So this could, if they kind of like give these characters some breathing room, and then bring them back, because like you can't. Another thing is you can't not put Kingpin in a Spider-Man movie at some point.
True.
Because he's a big deal.
He is a big deal, especially with him being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Anyway, enough talking about things that aren't happening. Let's move on to WandaVision.
So,
I think this is the thing I'm least excited for.
The only reason I think I'm excited for it is because it has to directly tie into Doctor Strange's sequel.
Yes, which we'll get to.
So, Comic Story, and I was watching a video about one of their videos, and he was like, WandaVision looks like, it sounds like a 50s television brand, and it looks like a 50s television brand.
I think that's like the aesthetic they're going for.
Interesting.
Because like the music, like the intro music they were playing for all the cast was like 50s sitcom kind of stuff.
Huh. Interesting.
And like Elizabeth Olsen was like, yeah, it's like she didn't say it was like set in the 50s, but she said it had like a 50s kind of vibe to it.
I think it was set in the 50s. I think that'd be stupid.
That kind of like aesthetic to it, and I think there's gonna be some weird shit in the show.
I agree.
Like
I thought it was gonna be a prequel, and then they're like, it's gonna lead into Doctor Strange. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm excited to see more Vision. I'm just excited to see him do something for once.
I agree.
Because he hasn't done anything.
Except, oh no, he paralyzed Rhodey.
Oh yeah, I was listening to a podcast, and it was like he doesn't do anything. Like anytime he shoots the laser out of his head, he either like misses who he's aiming for, hits someone else, or it's like deflected back at him.
That's so true.
Oh, Vision. But like I like Paul Bettany.
I do like Paul Bettany a lot.
Like maybe they'll do like the creepy like White Vision.
Ooh.
Which
they did that too.
They kind of teased him
when he died. He was all gray.
In the comics, he's like a gross like vanilla color. He's like off-white.
Yeah.
It's gross.
He's
fleshy.
You know what I honestly thought they might do? Because they kind of did it in Young Avengers. They brought him back because they were like, oh, we have his consciousness, and then they put him into Kang the Conqueror's armor, and then he turned into the Vision. But he was just younger looking. Because he was based off of...
Well, Kang's not a robot, though.
But his armor is like... They downloaded his consciousness into the armor.
Okay.
So the armor became like... it was also like... It was weird armor, because it was technically Iron Lad, but Iron Lad is also technically Kang. But, what was it? I thought that they might do something like that, where they might make like a new body for him that just happened to look younger. As much as I love Paul Bettany, I just thought like that was a possibility. Like put it into a younger character or younger actor.
I don't think Paul Bettany's done, especially because Vision hasn't fucking done anything.
True. I don't think he's done either. I just thought like if
paralyzed Rhodey.
Yeah. I thought maybe if he was done, like that's one way that they could do it. Just destroy the Vision again, then cast a younger dude and be like, it's the same Vision, just a different actor because we made him a new body. He just happens to look like Zac Efron.
We didn't really get like a resolution for his character. Like he just died, and there was nothing. They didn't even mention him in Endgame.
Well, he at the end between Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye, she's like, they both do. But to be honest, I thought she was talking about Quicksilver. I was like, what the hell does he have to do with this right now?
I think we'll see Aaron Taylor Johnson again.
Oh, did you hear about what they almost did
No.
in Endgame? So instead of Hawkeye going back to get the baseball mitt and bringing it back, they sent him back to Age of Ultron, and he brought Pietro to the future.
I kind of want to like that.
I would have loved that. Knowing that we almost got that made me so sad.
I really like his Quicksilver. I think he's a lot closer to the comics than the Evan Peters one.
I love both equally.
Yeah.
But
I'm in the minority that I think prefers Aaron Taylor Johnson.
I think he just looks a lot cooler.
Yeah, I think his costume's kind of shitty. He's just wearing like a dry fit shirt.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say he
sneakers.
is. Yeah, I did like the dry fit shirt. That was a nice design.
Yeah, like give him a costume.
Oh, I agree with you. I think he would have gotten one if he didn't die.
There was like a suit up scene in Age of Ultron where like they're all putting on like their armor and stuff, and he just grabbed like a pair of sneakers off a shelf.
Yeah, and a shirt and just puts it on.
And it's like, was this necessary?
Yeah.
It's not very heroic.
I mean, I don't blame him getting new shoes. I mean, if the shoes aren't designed specifically for super speed, I could see like the rubber soles like burning out.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
that's overthinking it. It'll be it.
Anyway, Loki.
Oh wait, sorry. To go back to WandaVision,
Yeah.
did you hear Monica Rambeau?
Oh yeah, she's in it.
Yes, and it's gonna be
Adult Monica Rambeau.
yes. And for those that don't know, she was introduced as in Captain Marvel as a little girl. Yeah.
And her mom's like Captain Marvel's friend or whatever.
Yeah.
Maria Rambeau.
Yes, and then but now of course this is gonna take place after 2023, which is over 30 years later. 20, 30 years.
So she'll be like 30 something.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So Loki, I'm excited for this. It's him like hopping through time.
Yeah, with the space stone. But I don't get that though. It's not the time stone. How's he
Yeah.
going through time?
Maybe he gets the time stone. I don't know. Maybe I saw a theory that like maybe he gets a time stone and like becomes a sorcerer supreme. But that's a lot.
Whatever it is.
That's a lot to do in
It's
6 episodes.
True.
Also,
See,
how long are these episodes? Are they an hour?
I guess. I don't know. I didn't see anything. But honestly, like, I'm on the same level as with Shang-Chi. I'm interested. I'm not excited.
I'm pretty excited for this.
I mean, I'm definitely like I want to see where it went, but it also like kind of puts a hole in the Hulk's theory, how like, or not even the Hulk, like the ancient one. From what I remember, I haven't seen Endgame in like months, but she was saying it'll destroy if you take like an Infinity Stone out of a certain time spot, and then it goes, and then you don't put it back. It'll like destroy the one reality, and then the other one becomes reality, or something like that, or something happens. It's tainted.
Maybe the resolution to this is like
Him
like
returning
a
it?
cameo from Cap, like getting the stone back from him.
True. Or even maybe the ancient one, like she knows it's gone, and she could be like, "Look, you gotta return that." That'd be actually pretty cool.
That'd be
That'd be
a cool dynamic.
that could be how his story ends.
Yeah.
And just lives out and then that would be honestly, I'm down for like a 1-season Loki show,
Yeah.
where that's it, and he has to like make the decision: either I destroy the other reality and live,
Yeah.
or I go to the other one and die. That'd be so interesting.
All right. So yeah, not much to say there. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Okay, so do we think?
First of all, the title is so
Do we
cool.
think it's gonna be the multiverse though? Because I read a theory online. Since Nightmare's the villain, it could just be a multiverse of nightmares. It might not even be real.
I think like they'll sow the seeds of the multiverse in WandaVision, and then we'll get like multiverse like proper in Doctor Strange.
That would be interesting. Oh, theory. The Vision, they might not, even though they downloaded basically almost his entire consciousness in Infinity War. Maybe that's where the multiverse is going to be introduced, and she gets a vision from another universe.
Okay.
Have like kind of a Young Justice type,
Because
not
he's,
Young
like,
Justice, Injustice
Vision's-
type of thing.
Vision's like beyond technology because he's the Mind Stone.
True.
So it could be, he could be like the key to the multiverse or whatever.
That would be very interesting.
So I think the title is so great. It sounds like a 60s movie serial. Like
Yeah. Was it
Nightmare is the villain. It's really cool. Scott Derrickson says this is going to be like a horror movie, which
That'd be really cool.
I think that suits Doctor Strange really well. Like, I was hoping, because Scott Derrickson is a horror director, that we'd get some of that in the first one, which is why I kind of was let down by that first Doctor Strange movie. But I think this could be really great. And like,
I agree.
Doctor Strange really like stepped up in Infinity War. Like, he was like a star player in that.
And then in Endgame, he just controlled a wave.
Yeah.
But he had to, because that was the one future it went to. It worked.
Yeah, well, that's what he says. What if?
I'm excited for that because that can be
Literally
anything. Literally any story you want.
And like they showed like the cast of everyone who's going to be in all the episodes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It's just everyone.
It's literally everybody.
It's everyone except, I think, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr.
Which is sad because a lot of people want. What if Tony Stark lived?
Yeah, I think like Hemsworth is there, maybe, but like Stanley Tucci's there. I saw him.
I did see him, and I was like, Dad, I love him.
The Tooch is back. Yeah, a lot of good names in there, and I think the first episode is what if Peggy Carter got the super soldier serum.
Yes, and I think he gets like a mech. Like Steve gets like a mech or something, but also that could have been a comic.
Oh, it would be cool if we finally get to see the Arnim Zola in the robot body with this face and
with
TV
the what if,
stuff.
yeah. Excuse me.
For those who don't know, Arnim Zola, last seen in The Winter Soldier on a computer screen in the comics, has a big robot suit with his face on a TV on his stomach.
It's very weird, but it's also kind of interesting.
It's one of my favorite designs. Like, it's so goofy.
I think you have to be so creative to think of that.
It's a lot of fun. All right. Next up, our boy.
Oh, okay. Let me tell
Going
you
around the world,
why I love it.
killing minorities.
Oh.
He was killing criminals.
He was, yeah. No, I saw that online. Like,
Yakuza.
There's organized crime in America too, Clint.
Yeah, but like...
And I was like, don't do my boy like that.
He's still stopping organized crime. We'll leave him alone. I don't think Hawkeye's racist.
We don't know that he didn't go to America. That just wasn't one of the places
maybe Hawkeye
talked about.
stopped all the crime in America before he went.
I mean, yeah, it didn't look like anything was going on when they showed Citi Field.
I love the idea that Hawkeye stopped all crime in America.
They were too afraid.
They're too afraid of his haircut.
Can we just talk about the fact, just tangent. Okay, so it looked like nothing was going on when they showed America.
There were whales.
Yes, there were whales in the Hudson, which I actually thought was pretty cool.
That was a cool little line.
But,
although, yeah, maybe everything's not the worst.
Yeah. But even too, like...
They stopped baseball.
Yeah, what the heck?
There's no more baseball, I guess.
I was like, how... Like, when they said, I missed the Mets don't exist anymore. I was like,
they
the hell?
over Citi Field.
And there's nothing going on. Everything is empty. Everything is gone. And I was just like, what?
That was kind of funny.
But... I just think it's funny because I'm like, really? Organized sports stopped? Like, I don't see that stopping. But who knows? This hit people hard. This was a mass extinction. Like,
there are a lot of loose ends to be tied up with this.
Yeah. She's at 5 years. I can't imagine.
So yeah, Hawkeye. We're getting more time from him as Ronin, so we get to see him stop all crime in America and then go to Japan. And we're getting Kate Bishop.
Yes, and do you think that his daughter, because apparently her name is Kate.
I don't think it's Kate.
I don't think it's Kate either. I heard someone say it. No. I was like, I don't think that's...
It's not. His daughter's not Kate Bishop.
Wait, is his wife named Kate?
No, his wife is... shit.
Whose name is Kate?
Kate Bishop.
Oh, yeah. But a lot of people are like, is it going to be his daughter? I'm like, no.
No, it's not going to be his daughter. I think that was...
I don't think it's going to be his daughter either. I think that was just like a father-daughter thing.
I think his wife's name is like Laura or something.
Yes, you're right. It is Laura. I was about
Martin.
to look it up.
That sounds right.
Yes. But I am excited to see Kate Bishop.
I'm excited to see... Because, like, the logo for the show is a lot like...
yes, it is Matt Fraction's
My Life as a
Hawkeye. It is...
great.
I've read volume 1. I have volumes 2 through 4. I have all of them, and I haven't read 2, 3, and 4 yet, but I'm so excited to.
He's like a landlord in it, right? He like runs an apartment building, doesn't he?
Yeah, because the landlord, the original landlord, was evicting people unjustly. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna buy the fucking building, and he buys the building, and then they all like just like live there, I think, for free.
Yeah.
I don't know where he got all that money from that he bought a building.
Yeah.
But you know.
I'm excited to see him in a non-ensemble movie, like see him get to kind of stretch his legs a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. I need this to be asked to Kevin Feige at a Q&A. Just tangent. Where the hell was he during Winter Soldier?
He was busy.
Doing what?
Doing Hawkeye stuff. Missions.
Okay. See, I love him. That's why I'm mad.
Killing the
Because
Japanese.
no, not back then.
Starting early.
Oh god.
See, he started stopping all the crime in America back in Winter Soldier.
Jeez.
So he was like mostly done by the time Endgame rolled around, and then he could go and take down the cartel.
True. That's why he was able to move on from location. Anyway, no, have you seen the meme where it's Jeremy Renner dressed up as Hawkeye holding a thing of Starbucks? And he's like, guys, I just went to Starbucks. What happened to S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Because he was originally in Winter Soldier.
Was he?
Yeah.
Why was he not in it?
There was the scene where like he was sent by S.H.I.E.L.D. to like hunt Captain America, and there was like a scene where they're like he has him like pinned down or whatever, and he's like yeah, I know, it's Hydra, and he's like, you can beat me up if you want. That was like a deleted. I don't know if it was deleted scene or it was just like a concept scene, but he was supposed to be in Winter Soldier.
Okay, that makes me so upset.
But like not like a major role.
Okay,
he was supposed to be in like a few scenes.
I'm kind of I would have been
Black Widow was.
Okay. I would have been more okay with that though. The fact that he wasn't in it at all and it was like the two that were S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, Black Widow, Hawkeye, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense that he wasn't in it.
Don't get me wrong, that is one of, if not my favorite movie from the MCU, but I just, once I saw the art, the logo was the same as Matt Fraction's. Yeah. That story's awesome. Because it shows, too, like, how good Hawkeye actually is. Because, my friend, one of my closest friends, Steven, is just like, he's like, Hawkeye is shit. He can't do anything. He shouldn't be an Avenger. He has a bow and arrow. What is he going to do? I'm like, did you not see the movies? He does a lot. And you should read this. And then he's like, no, I'm not reading.
Like, we give Hawkeye a lot of flack. But
I love him.
He's stepped up a lot.
He's one of my favorite characters of all time.
He was pretty good in Age of Ultron. I think he was at his best in Civil War. I really liked him in that. Yeah. Because he was just like a dad. Yeah. He was like it was kind of like nobody really took him seriously, but he was still kind of capable.
Yeah. Honestly, like, as good as Avengers was, I wish they could have made it as good, but not done the whole mind control thing. Because even two people, like, even after he wasn't mind controlled, he wasn't the same. And I was like, yeah, do you blame him? He's pissed. Yeah. Like, I don't blame him for not being the same.
I'm excited to see what he does in his own property.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited for it.
Because he's going to be the last of the original Avengers to get
anything.
His own thing.
Yeah, because that's after Black Widow, right? Yeah, because we're doing this in order of release. That would make sense.
Next up. Very excited for this. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, baby.
Taika Waititi, Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, and this was like the biggest. Like, a lot of this I was like, okay, I saw most of this coming. Yeah, I kind of figured they're gonna do a lot of this, and then they bring out Natalie Portman, and announce that she's gonna be the Mighty Thor.
The Mighty Thor.
I love this.
Now, do you think they're gonna give her cancer? So for those that don't know, Jane Foster did become Thor in the comics, but she also had cancer at the same time.
I think it'd be weird to I don't doubt that they could do it, but like shoehorning it in the one movie
that she's been
like she has cancer and now she's Thor, and it's like it's a bit much.
True.
And maybe we could I want Thor to get the destroyer arm.
Oh yeah.
I love that. Like, give him his eye patch back first, because he looks way cooler with it.
Yeah, I liked the eye patch. I don't like the eyeballs.
Eye patch, long hair, big beard.
Yeah, why spend money on CGing an eyeball?
Yeah.
When you can just give him the eye patch.
But I think his eye patch was CG.
I think you're right.
Because there was no strap on it.
Damn it. Okay, then it's probably easier to.
It's still probably because it's just like a solid piece.
Well, Odin's was the same. His doesn't look CG.
But Odin's had a helmet around it.
No. Not all the time. He didn't always wear the helmet.
But I think when he had a helmet, it had a strap.
Oh, well, yeah, that. When he had the helmet, it was part of the helmet, but there was like.
You're talking about in Ragnarok?
No, in general. Like in Dark World, he's standing like watching the soldiers go, and he had his hands out.
Well, maybe it's CG.
And maybe, I don't know. It looked very real, so either it was very
patch.
good.
Like, you don't
but
have to spend a lot of money on it.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
It's just an eye patch. Yeah. So I'm really excited for this. Valkyrie, they're making her gay, which is cool.
She was supposed to be in Ragnarok, and then they cut her scene.
Which, I mean,
a lot of people were not happy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Understandably so, because then everyone was like, the first homosexual character was Joe Russo's in Endgame, and people were I think more upset that his was the first, and Valkyrie was supposed to have a scene, and they cut it.
Which I like that scene, but it's like, did you just want this so you could be the first gay character in the MCU? Oh gosh.
Oh, Russo's.
Oh,
Joseph.
Anyway, yeah, like even the logo for this looks.
It looks dope.
Crazy, like it looks like a Led Zeppelin cover.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Right, that was a Led Zeppelin song.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know classic rock. Don't hate me, listeners. Please don't.
I'm just happy Taika's back. I'm happy Hemsworth is back. Thor's the first Avenger to get 4 movies. Imagine telling that to someone a few years ago.
Yeah, right. Like out of all of them. Meanwhile, we all wanted Iron Man 4.
Like we'd get and be happier with a Thor 4.
Yeah.
Than an Iron Man 4.
Yeah. But then you tell the person why wasn't there an Iron Man 4? Well, he bites it.
It's almost like the reverse of Iron Man's trilogy, where like Thor's started out kind of weak.
And it's just getting better.
And it only gets better.
Meanwhile, Iron Man
started out.
Amazing.
Iron Man 1 is still considered one of the best MCU movies.
Yeah. And then it
just kind of petered out.
It's so amazing. Like, Iron Man 3 did, like, so well financially, but, people didn't like it.
Yeah.
I'm like, why did you go see...
Because it's Iron Man 3. And it was the first one after the Avengers.
I think it's insane how early that was, and that was his last solo film.
Yeah. And yet somehow he still feels like a big deal.
Yeah. And I always said that. I was like, I wish they could have maybe shoehorned in another Iron Man in there. But.
Alright. Anything else on Thor?
Not off the top. Oh, do you think they're gonna keep him as Bro Thor?
I don't think he'll be fat in this one.
I don't think he will either. Also, they said that this is supposed to come out before Guardians 3, right?
Yes.
But he left with the Guardians.
Yeah.
So, how is that gonna work?
Before we get into the final reveal that they made, let's talk about some of the other stuff. So, Guardians. I don't know what they're gonna do there, because I definitely want a Thor and Guardians movie. It's just a matter of whether or not the Guardians are in Thor or Thor's in the Guardians.
I feel like it's too much to put, especially if they are doing, well, not if they are, with Mighty Thor being in Love and Thunder. I think it's too much to have the Guardians in there. If anything, I could see Love and Thunder, because, okay, the Guardians movies came out so far apart, but took place 6 months apart.
Yes.
So I keep hearing from people that Guardians 3 is taking place before before Infinity War.
I don't want that.
And I'm like, no, I don't know who is saying this, but I don't think that's true. Someone else said that Guardians 3 is going to take place before... Okay, so I think the person that said this just worded it wrong. They're like, Guardians is coming before Thor. I'm like, but it isn't, because they didn't announce it.
Maybe it's taking place before Thor.
That's what I'm thinking.
So it's taking place between Thor and Endgame.
Yes.
Okay.
I would think that. Also, we actually, because I know filming for Guardians is supposed to start as soon as James Gunn is done with Suicide Squad. So,
he's casting for extras for Suicide Squad now.
All right, sign me up.
He
But
wants Middle Eastern extras.
oh, never mind. But so if they start filming, like that might be why they didn't say anything about Guardians.
Yeah.
Because it's up in the air. They don't know. It still could be coming out like 2022. Maybe they have a fourth movie.
It's also just a matter of when James Gunn is ready.
Yeah.
The script is done.
Yeah, the script has been done. I mean, I'm curious too. Just talking about that, Gamora dying. I wonder if he do you think that they told him like, hey, we're killing off Gamora in our movie, so you might have to rewrite some stuff?
I think he would have.
I was gonna say I don't know how you wouldn't.
Because he's in charge of like a lot of the cosmic shit.
Yeah, and he wrote a lot of the Guardians lines, so he was very heavily involved in Infinity War. Yeah, so I don't see him being like not knowing, but I didn't even realize that until recently.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope he wrote it around that, but.
Yeah. It's also a matter of like, did he write Thor into Guardians 3 at all?
I didn't even think of that.
I don't think he'd be too willing to just add Thor in if he didn't.
True.
Maybe they had like plot points like by the end of Endgame, A, B, and C are gonna happen. Just try to work these plot points into your movie.
It wouldn't be the first time they've done that. There have been times like I think where they've had to put characters in certain places.
Yeah.
Even what was I gonna say? I mean, I could see maybe he wanted to put Beta Ray Bill, and then they just replace him.
Say, do we get Beta Ray Bill in? Because it's one way or the other. Whether it's in Guardians 3 or Thor 4, we're getting Beta Ray Bill.
I think that would be great, especially since they already teased him.
We have Stormbreaker. Stormbreaker.
I don't want him to take it from Thor.
Thor doesn't need it.
But he doesn't have anything else.
He has lightning powers.
That's fair.
He doesn't need it.
That's very fair.
He can hold a stick and do the same thing.
It's just so cool with him.
I know, but he doesn't, like... I'd rather Beta Ray Bill come in and get it than Thor have it.
True.
And it's also a matter of, like, whether we like it or not, how much more of Chris Hemsworth we're getting.
Very true. I mean, thankfully for Ragnarok, he seems very willing to keep going.
Yeah, he's outlasted all the other ones.
Yeah. He, honestly, if he stayed with it long enough, he could probably beat the record. Like, Hugh Jackman has the record for length, like time-wise, and then Robert Downey Jr. has the record for appearances as the same character. So if he stayed long enough, he could either beat one or beat both.
I mean, I don't want to see him go anytime soon.
Neither do I. He's great.
And he loves doing it, so...
Yeah, now, especially now that he loves doing it, yeah.
Like, he just gets to, like, be himself.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so glad they, like, just did a total 180 on his character.
I agree. And it's, like, I don't even feel like it's a total 180, because he had his serious moments, too.
But, like, he wasn't, like, goofy like this before.
Yes, I agree with that. And which is actually, I think, in my opinion, more true to Thor in general, because he is, like... The more he is involved with the society of humans, the goofier he becomes.
Yeah, and it's like I posted on Twitter. I think like Thor went from like Lord of the Rings to just like brain damaged in the space of like 3 movies, and it's like that's the best decision they've made because Thor is like everyone's favorite character now.
Oh, 100%. Because what was it? Just to even like prove more that it was, I think, more towards the character of Thor. He, in the most recent event, War of the Realms, Marvel, there's like a league of one, and in this league, it contains one being from each of the realms, like each of the 9 realms. Mm-hmm. So someone had to step down or like do something else, so Thor's like, Spider-Man, you do it. He's like, they said they needed someone from Midgard, and you're the most Midgard person I know. And I was like, that's such like a Thor thing to say, like, because the way he said it too, he had like this big goofy smile on his face. I was like, oh,
Thor's great.
Thor is great. He was very underrated before Ragnarok.
I think he was rated just fine before Ragnarok, but I think he just improved in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Captain Marvel 2, Black Panther 2 did not get announcements.
They mentioned them.
Right. Oh, they also did
They finally mentioned
Fantastic Four and the X-Men.
Well, they said mutants.
Oh, okay, that's fair. All right, so they plan on. They're planning it.
Yes,
that's
planning's been going on, but I think we will get Fantastic Four.
I don't think we're gonna get X-Men till Phase 5.
Definitely not, if that.
Yeah.
I think Fantastic Four, we will get very soon.
I agree.
I think we could see them in Black Panther too.
See, my other thing is too, they said like this is Phase 4. Now they could always extend it, and it could be another 2 or 3 years.
Oh yeah, this is like I assume a lot of this is like the phase outlines are very arbitrary at the point. Like they can
I agree.
Change as they want, depending on what they plan on doing. So
yeah, and I could see Phase 4 ending in 2022, and then Phase 5 starting in 2023.
Yeah,
and then that could have like Captain Marvel 2, Black Panther 2. Okay. But yeah.
All right. So is that
final?
So after name dropping Fantastic Four and X-Men, Kevin Feige brings out Mahershala Ali, Luke Cage's own
Cottonmouth.
Bring him out to announce that he's doing Blade.
And he will be our Blade.
This was out of nowhere.
Literally out of nowhere, because even
there were no rumors.
Apparently there was like a mention, but it was like thought to be a TV show, which if I had heard that, I would have been like, oh yeah, TV show. I don't see him doing a movie.
Like, this is the one thing where it was like, this has not even been mentioned on like the online.
They kept it so under wraps.
There was nothing. It was that they probably had a meeting with 2 people, and I'm really excited for this.
Well, did you hear how the conversation went down? Kevin Feige was talking about.
Yeah, it was like Mahershala Ali. He was like, "You don't say no."
Yeah, you don't say no to Mahershala.
And like I don't think anyone cares that he was Cottonmouth.
No.
Especially if he's dead.
Yeah, he is dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He was, I think, the best villain that Luke. I think he was either the best or tied with Bushmaster. Bushmaster was really good too, but Bushmaster
in Netflix.
Yes.
Like you think he's the best?
No, not. I'm saying out of the Luke Cage villains. Yeah. Oh, they were good. Don't get me wrong. I would, if I had to go over the whole MCU, they'd be. I think they could make my top 10.
I think Kingpin.
It's also hard to compare them because they have so much more development. Because instead of having like an 1.5-hour movie, 2-hour movie, you have like 13 hours worth of seeing them.
I think Kingpin and Kilgrave are a tier above that.
Yes.
Kingpin,
they're in the same tier as Thanos, Loki.
I didn't really like Kingpin in season 1 of Daredevil. Season 2, he kind of grew on me more. Season 3, he's perfect.
So he gets better. That's all I'm hearing. I haven't seen season 3.
Everything gets better in season 3. Daredevil season 3. I mentioned it last week. I'll mention it again. It's perfect.
It's great.
It's so good. It's the best season.
Oh, do you want to hear my theory of how they can make it work if it's in continuity?
Okay.
So Cottonmouth's name, something Stokes. His last name is Stokes.
Yes.
Now I was watching a History of Blade video today, and his actual name is Eric Stokes. So if they really wanted to make it connected, he could be his twin.
Okay.
That got bit by a vampire. If they really wanted to fill that plot hole. I mean, I don't see them going out of their way to make that a big thing.
I don't think they will.
But I mean, this is actually the second Luke Cage actor to play 2 different roles in the Marvel Universe. Mariah Dillard, she played.
She was in Civil War.
Yes. I mean, granted, it's very different because she had a kind of a minor role, and then this is 2 major roles. Yeah. So, I mean, I honestly, if it really became a problem, and they made it constant, like everything's still connected and stuff.
Yeah. I don't think they care though.
I don't think they care. I really don't. But I can see it. I can see them making it work that way, considering both have the same last name.
Yeah.
So.
This is.
I would actually be really interested because even too, you could be like, he could come in and like Luke Cage like goes to fight him. He's like, no, I'm not him. I'm not my brother.
This could open up a whole lot more for like the Marvel Knights in general too.
Yeah, if they ever do that.
Moon Knight finally.
Yeah.
At some point.
Sorry, I'm sad because I wanted Jake Gyllenhaal to be Moon Knight.
Yeah, but he was a good Mysterio.
He would have been good in anything.
Yeah, literally any role you cast him in.
But I heard, like, after people saw Southpaw, that everyone's like, make a Moon Knight. So, like,
Yeah.
it made me want to see Southpaw, and I still haven't seen it yet, but I want to see it.
Is he Jewish?
I think so.
'Cause I know Moon Knight's supposed to be Jewish.
I don't
A
know.
lot of people are saying Shia LaBeouf.
No,
I don't like that.
I don't want him.
I don't really like Shia LaBeouf.
I don't want Shia LaBeouf in Marvel.
Yeah, I don't think I don't doubt that he's probably gotten a lot better as an actor, and apparently he has 2 movies out now, which are both like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Good for him, but I don't want
But
him.
it's like, just do more.
He went to an awards ceremony and
With the
got paper bag over his head. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, he's, regardless of whether or not he's good, like he's kind of a nut.
Nothing wrong with nuts in the world. I just
Yeah.
don't think he, like, I can't think of where, like, a character he would be. Like, where I would want him.
A lot of people are saying Keanu.
For Moon Knight, like, as much
think
as
you're
I
gonna wanna
want
go
that, yeah, I didn't know how old he was. He's like 54.
Oh yeah, Keanu's old.
So I would
He
love,
doesn't look it.
honestly, what was it we were talking? I told you I could see him as Magneto.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I wouldn't mind seeing him as Magneto.
Okay.
Because I could see him being a villain where he wouldn't have to
I think,
do a lot of physicality
but I also
just
think
because he's getting
Magneto-
older.
Magneto needs to be a lot more like expressive, and Keanu's kind of like, whoa, like he's just kind of one note.
It's true.
Which like he's great, but like his range isn't huge.
I would just, he's a great actor, he's very phenomenal. I kind of want to just want to see him in the MCU.
Oh yeah, and I have no doubt that he will be.
Yeah, me neither. I'm just so, I just want him.
He would be a good Deathstroke
Yeah.
if they want to replace.
Joe Manganiello. I like him as Deathstroke though, and I hope he stays because he even was like excited about it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like it sucks like when you're excited about the project and then it doesn't happen. But who knows? Was there anything else?
That's it for Marvel.
I'm hoping at D23 we get maybe some footage from Black Widow, maybe a trailer.
I think we'll get a Black Widow trailer.
It's so hard though because it's like, will they go to New York Comic Con then? Because, like, I don't see
Marvel
them.
never goes to New York Comic Con.
Really?
The Netflix shows do sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, because I know Punisher did.
And I know Iron Fist did. But, yeah, no, they won't.
Mm. Oh, another announcement. I don't know if this was actually from Comic Con, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. last season.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sad. I know you don't watch it, but
Maybe once it's over, maybe I'll pick it up.
yeah.
That's another, the Runaways and
Oh,
Cloak and Dagger.
yes,
are
that was another thing.
connected now.
Yes,
That's fun.
they're gonna cross over in season 3 of Runaways.
Are they canon in the MCU?
Okay, so I watched season 1 of Cloak and Dagger. I haven't seen season
I
2
heard it's
yet.
good.
It is, but it's not like a superhero show. It's like a
teen
show. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what Freeform is. It's
Yeah.
teen drama. But it was a good show that had superheroes as like the main characters.
Mhm.
That's how I would put it.
Okay.
Because it wasn't a superhero show. I think it's going to get more... Because they had just discovered their powers.
Yeah.
They were just learning how to use them throughout the entire season.
And I've heard Runaways is pretty good too.
I've heard Runaways is very good. But they did at the very like last, I think, 2 episodes mention something about the Avengers. I don't think they said Avengers, but they said something like about like New York or something like that.
Battle of New York. That happened.
Yeah, like it was mentioned very like if you like watch most if not all of the MCU stuff, you know they were referring to the Avengers.
Yeah.
So I
Like it's
think that
connected
one
in the
is.
same way that like Daredevil's connected.
Yeah.
Like, not really.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm hoping. I mean, what was it? Kevin Feige said they're all gonna cross over eventually, but that was also like 2 or 3 years ago. 2 years ago.
I don't doubt that Kevin Feige wants them all to cross over eventually.
Who's in charge? Is it Joe Quesada?
Of Marvel
TV, yeah.
Jeff Loeb.
Jeff Loeb. Yeah, they don't get a. It was 2 people don't get along. One is Jeff Loeb.
It was Ike Perlmutter and Kevin Feige. Because Perlmutter is the head of Marvel Entertainment. And Marvel Entertainment is in charge of the shows.
But then Disney.
Which is why Inhumans got such a push, because he just wanted his own X-Men.
Yeah. I put my head down and groaned if that was not heard.
I think the groan was audible.
It's just so it's like just get along. Like you're both clearly fans of the characters. Just get along and make it good.
I think within the next few years there'll be like some kind of merger between Marvel Studios and Marvel Entertainment, where
That'd be cool.
they can use the Netflix characters. Because it's like, if you can't use the Netflix characters in the MCU, you're just back to square one again. Where it's like they may as well just be at Fox or Sony.
Very true.
Like, just being like, why are we at the point where just being under the Marvel banner isn't enough?
Yeah, right. Like, it's so stupid. Just
I just want
connect everything.
I just want Daredevil in a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. I just want Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to get credit for all the work. Like, okay, so for those that don't know, just a quick little tangent. The S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier where Nick Fury's like, oh, my friends put this together or whatever he said, that was Coulson. That was all Coulson. That's so frustrating.
Well, you can't mention Coulson because you can't let people know he's alive.
See, that I understand, but Coulson's like, I want to tell them. Now Coulson's dead. Kind of. It's complicated because of season 6.
Yeah, whatever. Alright. We running out of steam here?
Yeah, I was going to say we're out of material.
You can find me on Twitter at acoleman11401.
And you can find me at JonathanWalls1 on Instagram. You know what I just realized?
What?
People have been requesting me. I didn't know who they were, and I denied them. So I gotta not do that
Request
anymore.
again.
I'm just gonna make it public.
Okay. It don't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Alrighty. Well, I don't know when the next episode's coming out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's why we're occasional.
The occasional bugle.